Well, let's begin. Standing tall and supreme, close the eyes, go inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering, and may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. So let's now do the mantra for purification 3 times to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. Om pavitraha pavitra va sava vashtanga topi va yaha smrit pantrikaksham sabahya bhyantraha saji. Om pavitraha pavitra va sava vashtanga topi va yaha smrit pantrikaksham sabahya bhyantraha saji. Om pavitraha pavitra va sava vashtanga topi va yaha smrit pantrikaksham sabahya bhyantraha saji. Release the arms. So now let's do charging breathing to charge the body with the earth's energy. Bring your feet 10 inches apart and the arms up over the head, palms facing in. Inhale from the soles of the feet right up to the fingertips. Imagine you're drawing the earth's energy right up to the body. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding the breath at the fingertips. Hold the attention there as well. 3, 4, 5, 6. All the way back down on the exhale, right down to the earth again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, visualize the earth's energy rising up through the body. Holding it at the fingertips to attract all the prana there, all the energy. Exhale all the way back down to the soles of the feet. Last time, inhale all the way up through the body. Holding the attention and the breath at the fingertips. Exhale all the way back down. And release your hands now. Let's continue with the exercises to prepare the body for the practice. From here on in, pretend you're the witness watching the body moving by itself. Roll the head in circles, shoulders down away from the ears. Keeping the neck long and the passage for the breath as open as possible. And then switch the direction of rotation. Good. And now circle the right arm forward, winding it up like a machine. Change directions. And the other arm forward first. and then backwards. Now, bring your arms over the head, take hold of the opposite elbows, go from side to side, Kapalabhati. And now, twist from side to side. And release. Breath of joy 8 times. Do it with enthusiasm to make it live up to the name. Roll the body down. First 3 movements done on an inhale. The throwdowns on the exhale. Last one. Just stay down, allow the body to stop bouncing. And then roll your way back up. Good. Now we're going to do lion's breath 8 times. So come to a squat, then allow the face to come into a fierce face, eyes wide, and a tongue hanging out of the mouth. And then coming up again. Shake at the wrist as fast as you can. And up and down. Fingers moving so fast, they're like a blur, you can barely see them move. Good, now you can take your hands to the waist or bring them out to the side. Swing your right leg up and back. And then the other leg. And release. Good. Now let's come to the top of the mat for Surya Namaskara. Take a moment to close the eyes. Remember, knowledge is better than practice. Meditation is better than knowledge. Renunciation of the fruits of action is better than meditation. Peace immediately follows such renunciation. So let's keep that in mind as we practice. When we renounce the fruits of our actions and offer them up, the practice becomes the best that you can give to all beings everywhere. Let's move together as one, like a school of fish. Reach the arms up over the head. Come forward and down into a forward fold, chest on the thighs, head down. Right foot back, lower the knee down, sit down to the seat. Come into high plank. Knees down, the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward between the arms, coming up into the cobra, arch the back. Come all the way back, the seat behind the heels, 2 more times. Glide forward, brush the nose to the ground as you come forward. Lift the head all the way back. And again, come forward gracefully. Propel yourself forward with power using the arms. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Dip the heart towards the ground. Then the right foot steps forward to the head, sink down through the seat. Feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come all the way up. Bring the hands back to the heart. So move according to your condition. Reach up and back. Come forward and down, Uttanasana. Left foot back into a lunge. Into the plank. Lower the knees down, bring the seat all the way back again. Glide forward between the arms into the cobra. And back all the way. Again, come forward. Slide like a snake moving through the grass. And all the way back one last time. Come forward. Come all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Left foot steps forward, sink down through the seat. Feet together, Uttanasana, bounce the legs. Come right up to standing, arch back. And back home. And up again. Forward fold. Right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down through the seat. Come back into high plank. Shavasana Namaskara, knees, chest, forehead down. Then glide between the arms, coming up into the cobra. Bring the head all the way back. Adho Mukha. Mount the heart. Right foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, chest on the thighs. Bow down. Come all the way up. And back home. And up and back again. Lose yourself in the sensations. Come forward and down, bowing humbly. Left foot back into a lunge. Into the plank. Going down now. Glide forward. Lose yourself in the sensations. Back into Adho Mukha. Lift the feet up and back. Left foot forward, back knee down. Feet together. Come all the way up to standing. Pranayama. Adding on, arch back. Come forward and down. Now chest on the thighs, bending the knees if you need to. Hands behind the back, join them together. Extend through the chest. Exhale, dive deep. Uttanasana, forehead towards the shins. Head, feet up. Then bring your hands down beside the left foot. Bring the right leg back. Kapiyasana, reach the arms up and back. Arch the back. And then come back into the plank. Lower down, Shavasana Namaskara. Come forward into the cobra. Make as though you're doing a dance. All the transitions smooth as possible. Seamless. Right foot forward. Kapiyasana. Pull the arms up high. Pull the body up by the hips. And bring the hands back down. Step the feet back together. Chest on the thighs. Hands behind the back. Extend through the crown and dive deep. And release. Come all the way up to standing. Arch back. Come back home. And again. Reach up and back. Come forward and down. Chest on the thighs, hands together, extend to the chest and pull down nice and deep. Uttanasana. Release the hands, left foot back. Back knee down, reach up and back, crescent moon. And then come back into the high plank. Lower down, Shavasana Namaskara. And then come forward. Retreat. Left foot steps. Back knee down, arch back. Radiate your light like the moon. Feet together. Chest on the thighs. Uttanasana. Pull the body down onto the legs. Reach up and back. Come back to pranayama. And a new variation. Reach up and back. Fold down. Bring the body to the legs. Now press into the hands, come up 3 times. Feet coming over the wrists. Come up lightly. Gaze right into the core of the earth. Push into the ground firmly with your hands. Extend the legs. The fourth one back into chaturanga. Hovering just above the ground. And pull right through into upward facing dog. Try to get your chest forward in front of the arms, the head all the way back over the seat. Make like you're howling at the moon, like a dog. Try to imitate the form as closely as possible. Now roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in
heart. Bounce through the chest, try to get your chest closer to the ground. If you can rest the top of the head or maybe even the back of the head on the ground. Leg like a dog stretching its back. Now lift the heels, bend the knees. Again, see if you can come up 3 times. Really grip with the finger pads and heels your palms and the base of the fingers. Fourth time, land your feet at the hands. Uttanasana. That's it. Pull the body down onto the legs. Come all the way up. And back home. And again. Reach up and back, extend. Come down gracefully. And see again if you can float up 3 times. Keep watching the body moving by itself. Extend the legs, back into chaturanga, through into upward facing dog. Hold it again, shoulders back, open throat, open heart, in every sense of the word. Free your shoulders, free your neck, lower back as well. And then back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can bring your belly to the thighs, make like a slide at the playground. Steep at the top, shallow at the bottom. Flatten out the arms. Lift the heels again, and then again come up 3 times. Fourth time, land your feet between the hands. Good. Pull the body down onto the legs again. Come up. Rise gracefully, hips forward as you go back. To your standing back bend, return home. 2 more times on your own. No repetitions needed. Just come forward and down. And then back. Make the practice an offering. An expression of divine love and devotion. These. Once you arrive back home, breathe in, breathe out. Remove all expectations, all attachments to the results. Good. Continue with Surya Namaskara. Reach the arms up and back. Come forward and down into forward fold. Uttanasana. Press your hands against the backs of the legs. Step on your fingers with your heels. Pull your body right against the legs. Chest flat on the thighs. Heart is moving down, beyond the knees even. Then press into your hands. Come up and back into chaturanga. Into upward facing dog. Shine your heart forward and up. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in. Breathe out, soften. And then the left foot forward, back knee down. Kapiyasana. Sink down through the seat. Press the hips forward. Curl the tail under. Allow the head to drop back between your shoulder blades. And then reach the arms up. Kapiyasana. Wiggle your arms, put your shoulders back and forward. Try to get them further back behind your ears. Take other expressions of the pose if you like. Go deeper. Sink down to the feet. Bring the back foot up towards the head. You can bring your fingertips beside the hips. Bring your head up as high as you can. Bring your body up out of the hips. Reach the head back, and you might eventually, your toes might eventually find the head. Good. And then come back down. Move your left foot a little bit more, bend the toes under on the back foot. Move back and forth. Make your way into lizard. Press back through that right heel. Sink down through the seat. Keep pressing into the base of the toes. Bring the chest right down to the ground if you can. And if you can get your chest on the ground, you maybe wrap your left arm on the outside, underneath the knee, and over the back. Take the bind, bend the toes under. Now from here, come back onto the hands. Move the left shoulder in behind the left knee. Come up with your left leg. Turn to the right. Coming into Visvamikasana. You can bind the left foot with your right hand. Keep pushing into the back of the knee. And then bring the hand back down. Come forward to Quintasana. Gracefully back into Chaturanga. Through into upward facing dog. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the right foot steps forward between the hands. Back knee down. Kapiyasana again. Reach up and back. You can do any preparations you like first if you need to. If you want to go deeper, go ahead. Proceed low towards the front heel. And then bring the fingertips down alongside the hips. See if you can take your left foot to the head. Just bend the knee as much as you can, as though you're squeezing socks behind the knees. If you have good balance, you can try to take your arms up again. And release gracefully into lizard. So again, move back and forth, pushing out the roots of the toes, trying to get your hips to sink. Move the right foot out as you need to, so the knee stays close to shoulder. And see if you can keep pressing into the base of the toes, keep the back leg active, but see if you can bring your chest lower, maybe right on the ground. If you want, if you're right down, you can take the right arm around the outside of the right foot, underneath the knee, over the back, and bind the hands over the back. So you can keep your knee off the ground by pressing into the base of the toes of the left foot. and release. Come back onto the hands. Move the right shoulder in behind the right knee. Come into a little side lunge. And from here, just reach the right leg out in front, over the arm. And flatten out the left foot. Come into Visvamitrasana. Raise the left arm up. Or if you want, you can bind the left foot, the right foot if you can. Open yourself up to divine grace. Beautiful. Then place the left hand down, turn forward. Keep the right leg over the right arm, right? Just come forward, sit on your elbows. Push into your hands back into Chaturanga. Through to upward facing dog. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Good. Bring your forearms down to the ground. Practice coming up into your forearm balance. Lift one leg up. And then see if you can press off the toes and come up. And just find different beautiful forms. Static perhaps. Move your legs around, try to keep the balance, even if your legs are moving. Back down, back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. And then the left foot steps forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Reach the arms up. Take the head back behind the arms. Gaze up at the tip of the sword. Imagine you're the warrior. Protecting the people. Completely devoted, strong and powerful and courageous. Embody all those virtues. Into toppling tree. Come forward, hinge at the hips, join the hands behind the back, open up the palms, interlace the fingers. Raise your right leg up high behind you. Open up through the heart. Lift the right leg up higher if you can. Then from here, just release the hands, left hand, fingertips come to the ground. Adho Chandrasana, open up to the right. Right leg up, arms up higher. Good. Now from here, bind the foot, bend the right knee. Take the foot, press the foot firmly into the hand, away from the seat. Look over the right shoulder. And look down in front, keep your left hip high. See if you can take your left hand up off the ground, maybe to the heart. Keep pulling the right knee up and back. Then release the left hand down to the ground again, release the right foot. Extend the legs, standing split. Take the right leg right up high. Move the left hand to the ankle, the left foot. Pull the body right against the leg if you can. If you have good balance, see if you can take the right hand to the standing leg as well. Then place the hands down on either side of the left foot. See if you can come float up. See if you can press the right foot up off, left foot up off the ground. Use a handstand if you like. Both legs together. And then back down with your left foot first. And the right foot. Virabhadrasana 2. Sink down to the seat. Again, come into the consciousness of a mighty warrior. from here. We're going to turn to the front, right arm up. Go to the outside of the left leg with the right arm. Padivita Parsvakonasana. You can keep your hands in prayer if you like. Push back through the right heel or take a bind. Taking a bind, take your left wrist in your right hand, pull the left shoulder all the way back. Gazing up as though saying, I'm yours, God, to do your service. Now look towards the front. Bring the right foot in a little bit. Keep the left hip high so you can come into Bounderval Chandrasana. Raise your right leg up. Back down softly into Warrior Two. Then Humble Warrior. Join hands behind the back. Pull the shoulders back, head high, and then dive forward. Go to the right a little bit so we can, the shoulder will slide down the inside of the left knee. Sink down through the seat. Express complete humility and surrender. Now, if you feel you can take a little bit deeper. Take your left shoulder in behind the left knee. And see if you can tuck your chin in. Press the back of the head against the foot, the heel, or take your head even to the other side. A deeper version of Humble Warrior. Keep your hips low. If you can get your head to the outside of the foot and on the ground, or even just on the ground, you might be able to take your arms up, join them over your back. Stretch your arms up. Variation. Lift your left hip, bring your hands closer on the other side of the foot so you can raise the right leg up. Back down. Now move the hands back to the inside. Swing your left leg all the way up and back. One-legged dog. Come forward to high plank, lower down, the chest comes down first. From here, press into your hands. If you can come right into Bandha Girindasana from here. Back into Chaturanga. Through into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften. Again, lower down onto the forearms. Come up again into your forearm balance if you like. If it's too much, you can stay in your downward facing dog, or do dolphins or something else if you like. Try different forms. Charging Scorpion is a nice one. Push your chest in front of your arms, tuck your chin in. Seat comes behind your body. And back down, gracefully, into downward facing dog. And then the right foot comes forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Raise your arms up over the head. Gaze up again. From here, sweep the arms back behind the body, interlace the fingers, drag your left foot in, gracefully make your way into toppling tree. Bring the belly towards the thigh, lift the chest a little bit, point the toes of the left foot, get them higher. Release the hands, the right fingertips come down. Chandrasana, left arm opens up. Good. Shoulders and hips stacked on top of one another. Finding the left foot now with your left hand. Push the foot away, or pull the foot away from the seat. Look over your left shoulder. Then look down in front. Keep your right hip high. See if you can take the right hand to the heart. Keep pulling the foot up. Then release the right hand back, down, and the left hand, extend the left leg. Standing split. Walk your hands towards the standing foot. Take your right hand to the ankle, index finger tracing along the outside of the ankle. Bring your body to the leg. And see if you can get your left hand to the foot as well if you have good balance. Place your hands on either side of the right foot. If you want, you can see if you can come up. So float the right foot up off the ground, push into your hands. Come up off the heel, and then if you want, you can come into your handstand. Right foot comes back down, left foot lands back behind. Virabhadrasana 2. Sink down through the seat. Strong lines. Hands behind the back, humble warrior. Pull the hands down, lift the chest. Actually, sorry, I messed up. Turn towards the front, left arm up, go to the right. Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. Hands to the chest, Anjali Mudra, or take your bind. Keep pressing back to the right, left heel. Extend to the top of the head, turn your chest and your face up. And look down towards the front foot, move the left foot in, keep your left hip, right hip high, and see if you can lift your left leg up, bound revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Back down, warrior 2. And now, humble warrior. Hands behind the back, lift the chest, bring the head back, dive down. To the left, forehead slide on the ground beside the right foot. Go deeper if you like, release the hands. Bring the right shoulder in behind the knee. Take hold of the right ankle with your left hand, reach across. And from here, tuck your chin in, lift your hips up if you need to, so you can bring the back of the head against the heel, maybe right to the other side of the foot. And then if your head is secure on the ground, you can release your hands, join them together over the back. Move according to your condition as always. Option to try. Bring fingertips back down to the ground like you're doing tripod headstand. And then raise the left foot up, left leg up. And back down with the left foot. Take your shoulder out from underneath, hands on the inside of the foot. Swing your right leg all the way up, one-legged down dog. Good. Now come forward into plank. Lower your chest down between your hands. Bandha Garudasana. Back down into low plank, and then from here into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften, melt the heart. Vasisthasana on your left hand and your left foot. Move your left hand more in front of the nose, turn to the right. And then see if you can take other expressions from here. Keep your left hip high. Take your right knee up. Maybe take your foot. Move it out to the right. Allow your inner grace shine through. If you want, you can come to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Pull your right foot in. And then your hands move beside one another, or other expressions of the pose as you see fit. Spin on your left hands, fingers facing inside the mat. Come back to downward facing dog. Keep your hips up through the whole transition. Watch the body moving, going onto the other foot and hand now. Right hand steps more towards the right, from the nose, and come up. Left foot flat on the ground. Make sure you don't drop into the shoulder. Picture yourself in the pose. If you want, you can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. From here, spin on the heel of the right palm, fingers facing towards the middle, and come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then come back, downward facing dog. From here, raise the left leg up again. Take the knee to the left wrist, Pigeon Pose. Good. Root down through the seat. Bring the head up and back. Hands to the seat. Use the hands to shape the lower body so there's no wrinkles in the lower back. Keep pushing the chest up, the rib basket up, curl the tail under. No folds in the lower back. Now bring your head back up. Let's try Quintasana here. So bring the right foot up and reach across with your left hand and take the foot. The right arm extends back. Look beyond your right fingertips. Then you'll be able to tuck your foot underneath the rib basket. And release. Gracefully turn forward, left hip, left foot moves back. Come down into your prone pigeon. Express humility here. Expect nothing. Attach not to the results, and all is coming to you. Liberate yourself from all those expectations that cause you to actually end up impeding progress. So you can make yourself open to all possibilities. Now, slide your hands back. Push into your hands, back into Chaturanga, lower down, through into upward facing dog. Uncoil gracefully, back into downward facing dog. Soften the line of the back. Bring the right leg all the way up and back. And then bring the knee to the right wrist, pigeon. Hands to the seat again, push down into seat, pull down the tail, and then lift the rib basket up. Feel as though you're folding the back in half of the spine. Bring the head all the way back. Stretch the belly skin. And then come back more upright into Quintasana. Bring the left foot up, reach across the chest, take the foot in the right hand and extend the left arm. If you have issues with the knee, you can eventually tuck your foot underneath the rib basket. Be mindful of all your movements in your practice. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety. This is not what you want to transmit. And then release. Square off your hips again. Move the right hip back. Creep forward. Come down into prone pigeon. Flatten out the left hip. Press it down towards the earth. Forehead down. See if you can get the armpits right down on the ground. Slide your hands back. Push into your hands. Come back into Chaturanga. Through into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften. Now lift the heels, and the knees get ready to come forward to the hands. Land lightly, fold the body down onto the legs. Uttanasana again. Lift the seat, press your forehead against the shins, the body flat against the legs. Getting ready to come up. Bring your arms over the head. Open up your feet if you like, hands in Kali Mudra. And then from here, see if you can go back into your standing back bend. Press the hips forward and reach back. Keep steady. Come back. Pranayama. Inhale from the heart to the third eye. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in your divinity, in God's love. And release. Okay, standing posture now. Standing head to knee pose.
So standing on the left foot first, come down to a little bit of a half squat, pick up the right foot. And then so you can pull it out forward, keep the leg forward, squeeze the forearms to the shin, stay strong, try to get your belly on your thigh. Maybe venture your forehead or your chin to the shin. And from here, pull the foot back in, right into angel from here. Bring your arms out. Open up through the chest, bring it back. Good. One more. Bring the foot in front, the heel in front, hold the inner heel. Come up into ballet pose. Lean a little bit to the left so you can get your right foot up higher. Same line as the fingertips. And bring the foot back down. Release. Good. Beautiful. Try it on the other side now. Concentrate on staying this. Watch the body moving by itself. Come down a little bit lower, hinge, bend the right knee, take hold of the left heel. You need to press your hips back a little bit so that you can straighten the leg. Imagine you're lying it on, you're resting it on the table. So you can get your chest on the thigh. Now pull the foot back in and take it out behind. Spread your wings. Angel. Bring your head back. Whatever happens, be unconcerned, unjudging, just do your best. And then you come upright again. Stay steady, keep focusing on a point. Take your left heel, come up into ballet pose. Lean to the right a little bit, so you can get your foot up higher, close to the head. And release down. Beautiful, nice. Come down. Stand in mountain pose for a moment. Arms by the side. From the base, inhale up to the crown, just like from the base to the summit. Exhale back down to the base. Feel steady, rock solid in your devotion to the practice. Then come down onto your back, rest in Shavasana for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out all fatigue. Imagine you're fainting. Now come back to seated position. To do bodied So left leg floats back. Take the right foot in your right hand and just move it around a little bit. Circle around in its joint, anything you need to loosen up the hip. Push the knee back behind. Let's do compass pose here for a moment. Bring your right shoulder in front of the right knee. And pull the right leg up. Push with the back of the shoulder. That's the idea. Beautiful. Try not to shrink down into your hips.
And then bring your foot back in front of the chest, knee against the shoulder, lean back, and then just tuck your left foot into your right foot into your left hip crease for your half lotus. Take the bind with your right hand, right arm goes around the back. Secure the right foot with your right hand, and you can step on your fingers with your knee, with your palm, heel your palm down, or just press the back of the fist against the knee. Inhale, push the chest up and forward, turn to the right. Going back to face forward. And from here, release. Do the other side. Right leg folds back. Modify as you need to by keeping the foot in front. So you can do this instead if it's more comfortable for your knee. And then just take your left foot up. Again, just move it around in any which way. Just loosen up the hip a little bit, back and forth, or back, side to side. And then take your left shoulder in front of the left knee, push into the back knee, upward direction, so your knee comes higher than the shoulder. Left hand is right beside the left hip. You can push from underneath the heel and raise the leg up if you're more flexible. Bring your hands and just reach across the front of the foot for compass pose. Again, telescope the body out of the hips. Try not to slouch down and form wrinkles in the waist. Rebend the leg, bring your knee to the left shoulder, and tuck it into your lotus. Bring it into your lotus. Lean to the left arm goes over the back and around. And right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Exhale, turn to the left. Feel the spiraling action going from the base of the spine right up to the base of the brain. Now return. From here, if you like, you can bring both legs, right leg forward and slip it into the left hip for your lotus. And you can try to come into your headstand from this way. Place your hands from the knees, forehead or the head down, and then lean to one side very deeply so you can get your knee over your arm. Push into your hands and then push your shin into the leg, and then your other knee will come up into your lotus headstand. Padma Shavasana. And remain completely still here and steady. Be one with the form. Be as comfortable upside down as right side up. Soon, all poses feel the same. Steady and comfortable. Able to meditate in any pose. When we tap into the consciousness of that being. If you want, you can try to bring more weight on the head, come onto the fingertips, balance eventually on just the index finger, eventually just the fingernail. option to bring your forearms beside your head. If they're not already there. And see if you can lift your head. So keep your core engaged, push into the arms, and lift straight up. Floating the head up off the mat. You can tilt your head forward if you like, if you make it easier for you. Stay steady. And bring the top of the head back down. Move your hands back to tripod, one at a time. And then see if you can land your lotus or your legs, if they're not lotus, onto your upper arms, coming into lotus or regular crow, Quintasana. Curl the tail under, push into the arms with your legs, and lift your head. And release. Good. Down into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, roll your way up. Since we're here, let's try to transition from camel into shoulder stand. First to the right and then to the left. So lean back, your hands behind your feet. Push into fingertips, lift the seat up off the heels and walk your right hand forward to the sole of the right foot. Left hand to the sole of the left foot. Push your hips forward and up, the chest high, the head all the way back. Feel as though you're going to fall forward onto your thighs. And then lift up a little bit so you can release your hands. Squeeze your hands together, interlace your fingers, squeeze heels your palms, and squeeze the shoulder blades against one another. And then lift up. Now from here, make as though you're coming into a child's pose. But bring your right shoulder in front of the right knee, just the inside. Tuck your chin in, turn your head to the left so you can get the right side of the head to the ground. And then push into the shoulders, push into the base of the toes. Keep your hips, bring your hips high, coming into your wide angle plow. And then your feet together over your head for a regular plow. And then you walk your feet over towards the left of your head. You want to push more into your left shoulder, into the left side and back of the head, so you can get your left shin down. And then come up again. Roll your way up into your camel. That's it. Good. And then again, come back. So again, lift up so you can join your hands together, squeeze the shoulder blades against one another. And then come down. This time, tuck your chin in, bring your left shoulder down in front of the left knee on the inside. Press into the side of the head, turn your head to the right. And then from here, pushing into your upper arm. And again into the wide angle plow and into a regular plow. And from here, make your way into Shavasana. If you have a lotus, take a lotus. If you're wearing the tops of shoulders, bring your hands to your thighs. Now stay again. Whether you're moving, whether your body is dynamic or static, the mind never changes. It stays the same regardless through all the experiences, through all the activities, the body, the mind, and the emotions.
Quintasana if you have lotus, or Karnapidasana if you like. Or Halasana. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Remain established in love. Now from here, release if you have, keep your lotus, but release your arms if you have the bind. Roll your way down into Padma, so fish pose. Pull the seat down. Keep strong through the arms so you don't land heavily. And once the knees are down, push into the elbows, lift the chest, bring your head, top of the head to the ground, and take hold of the feet if you can, if you have your fish, lotus fish. And try to get your elbows and knees to stay down as you continue to lift your chest. Last streak of breath. And release here. Release the legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Pull the heels right in against the seat. Fingertips on either side of the head. And then lift your back up off the mat. Slide your head back so you're on the top of the head, and when you're ready, make your way into upward facing bow pose. Good. Now be formable and strong in a pose. Try different variations if you like. Try to straighten your legs and your arms eventually. Maybe walk your hands towards your feet. Eventually you'll be able to take your ankles for a full wheel. Chakrasana. Fierce determination. Now, so you can try different variations. Maybe you can take your one hand above the mat onto your thigh. Maybe you can take one leg up. Eventually you might be able to take both one leg and one arm up off at the same time. If you're doing that, your opposite hand comes up from the leg that's up. Tricky. If you do it on one side, whatever your leg or your arm, switch sides of course. Keep trying. And then come down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Then press into your arms. Bring your legs up over the head, like you're doing plow, but then roll right up to standing. Good. Stork Pose. Open up your feet just a little bit more than hip width apart. Come down into a little bit of a squat. Bring your arms around the outside and through between the knees. Belly is level with the thighs. Tuck the chin in. Slide your arms further down so they're not just against the knees, a little bit lower. And see if you cup your hands to the ears. If you can. Just keep moving, palming your way back until you can interlace your fingers behind the head. Pull your head right through between the legs. Very deep into pose. Eventually you'll be able to bring your hands and arms and mudra behind your head. Straighten out the legs if you can.
Now release. Bring your hands down on the ground. Walk them forward. Then turn your wrists so fingers are facing in. Lower the knees. Come into Peacock Pose from here. Bring the body forward onto the elbows. Slide forward until you can take your legs up off the ground. And then come back. Rest in child's pose for a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Soften. And roll your way back up into Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can do the full version or the half version. If you do the full version, bend the left leg, the heel comes beside the right hip, and the right foot comes the outside of the left knee. Left arm up, go to the right. Push the forearm against the thigh. Take other expressions or binds as you know them. If you have a long reach, you can do a double bind. So you have to kind of lift up a little bit, come up off your seat, and you bind your right wrist with your left hand, and you see if you can take your right hand to the inside of the right ankle. Push your chest up, lower back in, turn to look over your right shoulder. And then unwind the whole thing. Bring your hands on either side of the hips, just in front, and then lift the hips, and then just travel around. Spin on the same spot, going to the left, then all the way around until your left leg's in front, and lower down the seat again. And then repeat on the other side. Right arm comes to the outside of the left leg. Both sides of seat grounded. Come on to the back for Shavasana. We'll do the Shavasana now, and then we'll do pranayama meditation following that. So make yourself comfortable.
Prepare mentally now by repeating to yourself the following sentence 3 times. I will remain awake and alert during the instructions. Now, imagine the best of the best about to take place now through this deep healing relaxation method. Beginning to relax the left side of the body first. Take your attention to the left hand. Relax every part of the hand. So allow the fingers to just go limp. The back of the hand and the palm of the hand to soften, release all tension. And the wrist loose, flimsy. And then from the wrist all the way up to the shoulder, concentrate now on releasing all the muscles in the arm. Starting with the lower arm muscles, feel them become soft like jello. And then gradually moving away past the elbow joint, which is inactive and just allows all the heaviness to pass into the left upper arm. And those muscles again release, becoming soft and useless. Whole left arm, limp and heavy. All the muscles in the skin just hanging off the bones. Shoulder, joints, the whole head of the shoulder, relaxed, heavy. Keeping the arm anchored down. And moving your attention now to the left side of the back. Just like you see ink coloring the water gradually when it moves through the water, the same type of image as a heaviness creeps down into the shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, all the way throughout, across and down, making the back feel very heavy on that side, sagging from its own weight, barely able to sustain it. And then it just keeps on moving down past the shoulder blade region, just down the left side and into the lower back. Just feel the lower back getting very heavy as well, sagging under its weight. Continue to move down into the hip joint, the pelvis, all the bones in that area feeling like lead, extremely heavy. And the seat like a basin. Imagining it holding weight, cement. Feeling the seat just as though it were an anchor for the body. Heavy as can be. Now continuing down into the left leg, starting at the thigh. Feel that heaviness enter into the muscles as well as you release them one by one. The whole thigh becomes extremely heavy, sinking into the ground. And down through the knee joint, also loose and inactive. Just passes heaviness into the lower leg. Concentrate now on releasing all the muscles in the lower leg so they become soft and jello-like. Leg dead-like. reach the ankle. Concentration turns to the left foot now. Just like the hand, relax all areas of the foot. Remove all tension from the front of the foot, the bottom and the heels so they become soft. Limp the toes as well. Completely loose, flimsy. Allowing the foot to just fall heavily to the left. Left side, whole left side of the body now immobilized and still. We continue now with the right side of the body. Remain awake and alert. Remember, this is an active meditation. Bring the attention now to the right hand. Suggest to the hand now to release all the tension. Allowing the back of the hand and the palm to go limp and soft as the tension just melts away. And any tightness in the wrist, so it becomes completely loose. And all the fingers just loosen and just droop lifelessly. And from the wrist to the elbow of the right arm, soften all the muscles, relax them all. Feel as though the muscles became like jello, completely useless in their function. They're just hanging up the bones, extra weight on the arms. And continues up the upper arm through the elbow joint. Elbow is just loose, passive, and the left arm as well. All the muscles in the right arm, I should say, becoming dead, like the whole arm, just like dead weight, right up to the shoulder. The shoulders loose. Release all tension or tightness in that area, in the head of the shoulder, in the neck area. Just allow that whole shoulder just be heavy, anchoring down the right arm. Turn your attention now to the back, the right side of the back. As we did on the left side, feel the heaviness just swirl its way into the shoulder blade, spreading all the way throughout, just bringing heaviness, profound heaviness with it. So the whole right side, the back, upper back, just sinks into the ground heavily. Once the shoulder blade area is completely full, it just continues to move outward into the side body, downward into the lower back. Just consuming the whole lower back with heaviness, feeling it just melt into the earth that supports it from below. Sinking deeper and deeper. This continues as the heaviness moves into the hips, the pelvis, all the bones there, like lead, heavy as can be. In the seat, imagine you're just filling with more heaviness. So if heaviness had like a liquid form, it just whole body just staggers under its weight and just sinks even more heavily into the ground. The right leg now starting at the top of the thigh. Feel as though you injected lead right directly into the veins and the muscles. As the muscles yield to the heaviness, the leg becomes heavier and heavier, sinking as well, anchoring the body down along with the seat. No possibility of moving the body now. And continue to move even further down the right leg past the knee, which is completely loosened and active, into the lower right leg that becomes heavy as well as the muscles release, become like jello, just hanging off the bones. Now the foot, the right foot, is your focal point, the ankle joint, loose as can be, barely able to support the foot, which has also relaxed, been removed of all its tension, tightness. The bottom of the foot and the heel are soft, top of the foot relaxed and heavy, and the toes as well, all just drooping lifelessly. And the foot just falls out to the right, dead-like. All the right side of the body is still now as well. Bring the attention back to the torso. Go within now. Just bring your attention to the lungs, left lung. Heavy, so we're holding so much fluid there. Body again just sinks even more as a result of the heaviness in the lung, and the right side as well, both sides. Heavy. The heart. So heavy it can barely maintain the pumping action. So it comes into a still state, barely functioning. Same with the rest of the organs, the liver, the kidneys, stomach, intestines, pancreas, diaphragm, all become still. So the body really does resemble a corpse. The head now pressing deeply into the ground, the back of the head, so resting on the ground, feeling heavy as well. Relax all the features of the face. Forehead soft, no signs of tension, no frown lines. Eyebrows are relaxed, the eyes themselves, the eyelids close softly, the eyes just gazing into the back of the eyelids, behind the eyelids, no straining, no squinting. The cheeks and the nose are soft. The skin around the mouth, soft as well, no tightness, no tension in the lips or anywhere in the mouth or in the jaw, everything relaxed. So the throat can relax as well. The neck softens. And now in between the ears, inside the head sits the brain. Suggest to the brain to also come into a quieter state. All the mind activity, all the mind chatter just diminishes to a bare whisper. It has nothing much to do now the body is at rest. Body now. Still conscious of the body, its heaviness sinking into the earth. Continue to just allow it to sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier, until it just melts into the earth, gets swallowed up by the earth. Becomes the earth itself, just as we all do when we leave this body. Now, the body having been buried out of sight, now out of mind, out of the awareness and the consciousness. Just imagine that you have a big movie screen sitting just inside of just behind the forehead, in the space where the brain is. Picture a forest. Picture a stream, a great bubbling and active stream, more like a river, and it's moving very fast, moving over the rocks, tearing up branches or anything along the side, the banks of the river as it rushes down through the forest, bubbling, angry and swollen, just carrying everything with it. The fish swimming extremely fast with the river. Eventually, it empties out into a pond at the end, a perfectly round pond. As still as can be. The water is just completely glassy, like a mirror, reflecting the sunlight from above. Picture of perfect stillness and calmness. As you look down into the water, it's completely clear as you can see the bottom. Free of any debris, free of any impurities. Just like the state of mind that we reach when we come to a high point in our practice. When we become purified through the having had constantly observed ahimsa and the ethical rules, the other ethical rules. Purified as a body. That comes as a result of constant practice, generating the heat and the strong desire to find ease and steadiness in the body. And as a result, the mind has not much to occupy itself with. The mind can come into a quiet, pure state where we can just observe without judgment, without attachment, without expectation, and just valuing in all the knowledge that it takes in from all the experiences. Purified by all that knowledge, that allows us to remove all those behaviors that cause us to land in a place of suffering and pain. Not only for ourselves, but for others. tension in your mind by repeating the following sentence 3 times mentally. I strive to find purity in action, thought, and word. Now prepare to come back from Shavasana in a way that is gentle and mindful. Move in a way that allows you to preserve all the serenity that we created through the practice. Move gently and slowly, coming back to a seated position. Do the mantra for unification, meditation. And this I encourage you to just try to surrender completely to God. You feel one with all beings and with God. Surrender completely to the highest self. So you take your hands, opening them up, and as you inhale, you allow the fingertips to close up to the wrist, the index fingers touching the thumb, the base of the thumb, or the fingertips if you like, the thumb tips, and then exhale, open back up. And you're doing the mantra all the way through. So the first part of the mantra, whether it's hum, whether it's so, and then the second part of the mantra, you open up. So whether it's hum or whether it's sa, I'll do it out loud and you do it, internalize it. So sitting up tall and straight. Let's begin.
breath. Tap into the consciousness of higher beings, the gurus, the sages, those who brought us all the knowledge that we need to realize our path towards self-realization. Send out all your love and gratitude to them for all that they did, all the knowledge that they imparted to help us liberate ourselves from pain and suffering. Receptive to the divine grace of God. All is within.